Welcome back to the deep dive. We've got something on the desk today that I think is going to hit home for, well, pretty much anyone who's ever tried to grow a business from the ground up.
Oh, yeah.
We're tackling what I like to call the modern sales paradox.
It's a paradox that drives people absolutely crazy.
It really does, because, on paper, sales has never been easier. We have the internet, everyone's online.
The customers are all out there.
You're literally right there on your screen. But actually finding them and turning all of that chaotic internet noise into a clean list of people you can actually call.
It's a nightmare. It really is.
It's manual, it's so boring, and it's the part of the job that makes talented salespeople want to quit.
You've just hit on something the source material calls out right at the top. They call it the data gap.
The data gap.
And it's not just some buzzword. They frame it as a structural failure in how most sales teams are forced to operate.
Okay, so let's break that down. What does that actually look like for a sales rep on a Tuesday morning?
Well, you've got these highly paid, talented people. Their real skill is persuasion. It's building relationships.
They're people persons.
Exactly. But instead of doing that, they're spending, half their day acting like data entry clerks. They're on Google Maps. They've got 20 tabs open.
Oh, I've been there. The alt-tab fatigue is real. You feel less like a sales pro and more like a bad robot.
Right. And the consequences, as the sources point out, it's not just annoyance, it's massive burnout. But the real business cost? It's friction.
Friction.
While you spent 3 hours building a list of maybe 10 decent prospects, your competitor who automated this was already pitching them. That's the real cost.
That is a painful reality check. But we're not just here to admire the problem. The documentation we're diving into today covers a solution. We are looking at Ettutu V2.
Ettutu V2. Yeah, this is an interesting one.
It is, because when you first look at it, you might think, okay, it's a database, like a Zoom info or something. But the sources are really specific about this.
No, they call it a lead generation and CRM platform. And that distinction is everything. Most tools give you a static list that was scraped 6 months ago.
And is probably out of date.
Completely. Ettutu is pitched as more an automated research analyst working for you 24/7. It's meant to bridge that gap we just talked about.
So taking the messy web and turning it into a clean pipeline.
That's the idea. And the core promise, the big headline claim in all the documentation, is reducing time to lead.
Which is the metric that really matters.
It is. They say instead of spending days to build a list of 50 prospects, you could do it in minutes.
So the whole mission here is to automate that entire front end of sales from discovery to outreach so the humans can get back to being human.
That's the goal.
Okay, so let's pop the hood. I want to understand the mechanics. The sources break it down into phases. And phase 1 is the engine, discovery, and enrichment.
Right, the starting point.
So if I'm a user, I'm sitting down with my coffee, how does Ettutu actually start finding people?
It starts with what they call a search session. And this is crucial. It's built on the Google Places API.
Why does that specific API matter? Why not just, scrape the whole web?
Because Google Places grounds your search in reality. I mean, think about it. If a business is active, where's the first place they update their info?
Google Maps, of course.
Exactly. So you're not chasing ghosts.
Yeah.
You're not working off a list where half the companies went out of business 6 months ago. You're starting with active, real-world businesses.
And the power here, looking at the user guide, seems to be the precision.
Oh, absolutely. The filtering is key. You're not just searching for companies. You can get hyper-specific, like web designers or dental clinics.
And it seems very location-aware. It's not just countrywide.
Very. You can drill down to London, UK, or even just downtown Manhattan.
That's huge for territory management. If I'm selling, say, high-end dental equipment, I don't want every dentist in the country. I want the ones in a specific neighborhood I can actually drive to.
Precisely. And the system has radius targeting. For that exact scenario, you can set it to 5 kilometers, 10, 25. You have full control.
So I can do a hyper-local campaign or a big citywide sweep.
Yes. And the results come back in these organized batches. And I want to pause on the word they use, records. These aren't just rows in a spreadsheet yet.
Okay.
They're verified business entities. They have real addresses and even Google ratings attached from the very first second.
Now, there's a feature here that feels like the easy button everyone wants, the auto crawl.
Yes, the auto crawl. This is where the real hands-off automation kicks in.
How does that change the workflow?
Well, without it, you'd find a business, click it, and then tell the system, okay, now go find the email. With auto crawl on, the second a business is identified, it immediately triggers the next stage, the enrichment.
So you're not clicking anything.
You just watch the list populate in real time. It moves you straight into enrichment, which is good because finding the business name is the easy part.
Right. Finding the name is easy. Finding the right person to talk to, that's the hard part.
That is the bottleneck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where their crawler system comes into play.
So what's this crawler actually looking for? It's not just a generic search.
No, it's intelligently visiting the website associated with that business record.
Hmm.
It's parsing Contact Us pages, it's reading footers, it's identifying official phone lines, grabbing social links.
And I was reading about the different crawler modes. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
No, and that's smart engineering. They have 3 modes. First is the fast crawler.
For speed, I'm guessing.
Exactly. It's a quick, shallow scan, grabs the obvious stuff. If you just need low-hanging fruit for a newsletter blast, that's what you use.
Okay. But what if the info is buried deeper?
Then you use the deep crawler. This one's more tenacious. It clicks through multiple pages on the site looking for things on a team page or hidden in the site structure.
And then there's the third one, which is where the tech gets really interesting, the LLM crawler.
This is the AI integration really shining. It uses a large language model to navigate the site intelligently.
How is that different from a standard bot just looking for an @ symbol?
A standard bot just matches patterns. The LM crawler reads the page like a human. It can understand context. It knows that reach out to our press team implies a specific kind of contact, something a simple pattern matcher would miss.
So it's not just pattern matching, it's semantic understanding.
Precisely. And what's great is you aren't flying blind. The dashboard has these data completeness metrics, so you can see right away, okay, 70% of these records have emails, 90% have phones.
That manages expectations. Okay, so we found the business, we've scraped the info. But here's the problem with most scraping tools. You get a mountain of noise.
The classic garbage in, garbage out problem. Data without context is useless.
So how does Ettutu deal with that? This moves us into phase 2, which they call the brain.
Right, the analysis phase. This is where the AI analyst comes in. And it's a critical difference. It doesn't just copy text from a website. It uses an LLM to actually read it.
To understand what the business actually does.
Exactly. To understand the business model, it's asking, who are these people? What do they sell?
And based on that, it gives us a score.
Yes. A lead quality score. High, medium, or low.
That's so helpful because a low quality score could be, what, a blog that hasn't been updated in 3 years?
Exactly, or a coming soon page. While high quality is probably a site with a client portal and recent news. It just filters out the digital junk for you.
My favorite feature in this whole section, though, has to be the smart summaries.
Oh, absolutely. This is the sanity saver.
Because normally I have to open the website, find the About Us, read 3 paragraphs of marketing fluff.
And that takes 5-10 minutes per lead. Multiply that by 50 and your morning is gone.
Easily.
With smart summaries, the AI does that reading. The source gives a great example. Instead of all that clicking, the rep just sees a 2-sentence summary. This is a boutique family law firm based in Birmingham, specializing in divorce and estate planning.
Boom. Done. I know exactly who they are before I even think about calling.
And your opening line is already 10 times better because you're not asking that dreaded question. So, what do you guys do over there?
Which is the fastest way to get hung up on.
Right. You're starting with value.
Okay, so we have the data, we have the context. Now we have to actually do something with it. Let's talk phase 3, the workflow. Because this looks like more than a list builder. It looks like a full-blown CRM.
It is. This is where the platform pivots from hunting to managing. Once the data is qualified, it flows right into the CRM module.
And visually, it looks pretty familiar, like a Trello board.
Exactly. It's a visual Kanban board, they call the pipeline. Drag and drop cards. You move a lead from new to contacted, proposal, and closed. Very intuitive.
Simple enough.
But there's a really smart distinction they made between records and contacts.
I was a bit confused by that. Can you clarify?
Sure. Think of records as your raw data lake. You search for cafes in Berlin, you get 500 of them. Those are all records. They live in your database forever.
Okay, that's my reservoir.
Right. Contacts are the ones you verified and promoted to your active Rolodex. These are the leads you are actually working on right now.
I see. So my active pipeline isn't cluttered with 500 random cafes. I only promote the 10 I plan to call today.
Exactly. It keeps your active deals clean while preserving all that raw data. And when you click on one of those records, you get what they call the 360-degree view.
What's in that view?
Everything. The emails, the AI summary, the quality score, your task history. And this is a nice touch. It pulls in their Google rating and review count.
Why is that important for sales?
It's all about reputation. If I'm about to call a business and I see they have a 4.9 rating with 500 reviews, I know they're established and care about quality.
As opposed to a 2.0 rating.
If they have a 2.0 rating, well,
Yep.
maybe they aren't the best prospect. Or maybe they desperately need your help.
The eternal sales optimist. I can fix them.
You have to be. But at least you know before you dial.
Now, sales is a team sport. How does Ettutu handle collaboration?
Through an integrated chat system. This is great because you don't have to leave the platform.
So no more taking a screenshot, blurring out info, and pasting it into Slack.
No. They have contextual channels.
Mm.
Every lead gets its own chat channel. So the conversation about the deal lives with the deal.
That is so much cleaner.
And it's all real time. But the chat isn't just for humans. This brings us to the AI assistant.
Right, the chat with data feature.
This is a game changer. It has two modes. The first is work mode.
And what does that do?
In work mode, you can ask the AI questions about your own database in plain English.
Give me an example.
Instead of clicking a bunch of filters, you just type, "Show me all high-quality leads in London that I haven't contacted yet."
Wow, so it just queries the database for you.
Or, "List all companies with a rating above 4.5. It basically turns anyone into a data analyst without needing to know how to use a spreadsheet.
That removes so much friction.
Yeah.
And what about general mode?
That's your creative partner. It's like a built-in chat GPT. It can help you draft a cold email, write an outreach script, or even brainstorm approaches for a new industry.
So it's like having a data analyst and a sales coach sitting right there with you.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, home stretch. Phase 4, integrations. Because a tool is only as good as its ability to play nice with others. Am I locked into the Ettutu ecosystem?
No. And the documentation is very clear on this. It's an open system architecture.
Music to my ears.
You can export anything,
Yeah.
CSV, JSON, whatever you need. You can export a single search session or your entire database.
What about bringing data in? Say I have an old messy list from last year.
They have an import wizard for that. You upload your CSV, map the columns, and here's the kicker. You can then run Ettutu's AI enrichment and scoring on your existing list.
Oh, that is smart. So I can clean up my old data.
Exactly. And for CRMs, they mentioned a direct integration with 20 CRM, with Salesforce and HubSpot planned. So Ettutu acts as the lead feeder.
Like a mudroom for your main CRM.
What a perfect analogy. You bring the messy data in, you clean it up, qualify it, and only then do you push the good stuff into your pristine Salesforce instance.
Which keeps your sales ops team happy.
Very happy. And for anyone worried about breaking things, they have a testing environment too.
The parallel universe. I love that name.
It's a sandbox. You can train new hires in there without any risk of them deleting your top leads.
Okay, so let's zoom out. We've covered the engine, the brain, the workflow. What's the real impact here?
It's a massive shift in efficiency. What took a small team weeks of manual research can now be done by one person in a few hours.
It's moving from just raw data collection to actionable intelligence.
You stop paying people to hunt, and you start paying them to do what they're best at, which is closing.
So as we wrap up, here's a final thought to chew on.
I'm ready.
If the hunt becomes fully automated, if finding the right customer and understanding their business is instant and available to everyone.
Then that data is no longer a competitive advantage.
Exactly. It's just table stakes. If everyone has the same perfect list, the data itself isn't the differentiator anymore.
The competitive advantage shifts entirely back to the human element.
Right. It shifts to the quality of your pitch, your relationship building, the actual close. It ironically makes the human skills more valuable, not less.
Because the robot can get you to the door, but it can't walk through it and shake their hand for you.
That's it. The soft skills are about to become the hard skills.
Something to think about.
Something to think about. That's all for today's deep dive. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.